All right, folks, welcome back to Notre Dame Prep, where tonight we've got an exciting matchup as your Notre Dame Prep Fighting Irish boys basketball team takes on the Detroit Loyola Bulldogs here in Pontiac. The Irish come in on a three-game skid after dropping the last home game we covered against Walled Lake Western 44-50. They would then lose to Waterford Mott and then Lake Orion, coming in now with a 3-8 record. And while that record might not jump out as super impressive, now that I'm riding the MPR train, the average MPR of NDP's opponents is a .538. Putting that into context, NDP currently holds a .434 MPR, so them dropping games against a very difficult schedule is not a total surprise, especially when you look at yourself in a rebuild year such as this year. On the other side, Detroit Loyola has been rolling. 12-3 on the season. Their three losses coming to Western Hills out of Ohio, 66-70 in overtime. Divine Child losing by 1 in overtime, and most recently losing to Lumen Christi by 2 in overtime. This is a high-scoring team, 62.1 points per game, only allowing 47.7 points per game. Their MPR coming in at a .625. Unlike NDP, who is independent, they are in the Catholic High School League AA division, where they sit in second place just behind Divine Child. They split their season series against Divine Child 1-1, both of those close-scoring games. So the Irish are going to have their hands full here. This is the hardest team NDP has played yet. Emphasis on yet. They've got quite the difficult future ahead of them. All that being said, I'm Augie Villawan here with NDP Athletics Broadcasting, bringing you all your live NDP sports. And we are just about set to tee off here in Pontiac.
Good evening and welcome to Notre Dame Prep for tonight's MHSAA basketball matchup featuring the Detroit Loyola Bulldogs and the host Notre Dame Prep Fighting Irish. All Catholic schools, especially Notre Dame Prep and Detroit Loyola, hope to be about good sports and good people. We ask all spectators help both schools in their efforts to play this game in an environment of educational athletics. As two Catholic schools, we ask that everyone please stand as we pray together the Lord's Prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I ask that you please remain standing, remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, folks, so we are just about ready to tip off here. We're going to meet our starting lineups.
Detroit Loyola. Number 5, Kevin Clark. Number 11, Jordan Banks. Number 13, Caleb Cole. Number 21, Aaron Black. And number 23, Andre Akra. The Bulldogs are led by head coach Dennis Morey. And now for your starters from Notre Dame Prep, a senior, number 2, Ben Liberato. A senior, number 5, Lucas Catula. Oops. A senior, number 3, Sammy Corey. A senior, number 12, Drake Roa. And a senior, number 15, Sam Stone.
Alright, folks, so there's our starting lineups. Set to take the tip-off for the Irish, the senior Lucas Catula. Second highest in scoring on the team with 154, averaging 14 points a game. Against him on that tip-off, Caleb Coleman, the senior. So that tip-off, one back to Drake Roa, and the Irish will start with possession. That's up top now for Corey. Curry down to Liparotto, into the paint for Stowe, just out of his reach. Turns that one over to Detroit Loyola. Andre Akra throws that one in to Jordan Banks, who handles it up top, guarded by Liparotto. That's the near elbow. Clark has it now. Flips it over, now up top, handled by Glass. Swaps that with Banks, who's set to work on Liparotto as he sweeps that one over to Clark. And now far elbow for Glass. Glass, right to Bank. Bank puts that up top. Akra with it, now to the near elbow. Three goes up from Donovan Clark. Opens up our scoring here. I forgot to start the timer. Liparotto to Corey. Corey, that pass intended for Ben Liparotto, out of his reach. Another turnover here for the Irish. As Akra handles it. Corey presses a little bit. Back over to Banks. Banks drops that down to Coleman, who works his way in, now stops. Up top for Clark. Clark guarded by Stowe. Sends that to the near corner. That's Akra with it, now back up top for Banks. Banks gets a pick from Coleman and now handles it under the circle. Sends that over to Akra. Now near corner, that's Glass. Looking into the paint, puts that back out top for Coleman. And now sweeping, but foul called. That foul called on Glass, first of the game. As Roa throws that in to Liparotto. Back over to Roa. A bit of a light press as Stowe puts up a long three off the rim. Rebound is loose. And possession goes to the Bulldogs. As that is handled by Banks, the senior. Over to Coleman. Coleman on the far elbow, working on Catula, works in up top. That's Akra. To the corner. Handled by Clark. Now up top for Banks. Banks surveys. Near corner. Now up top. Coleman with it. Into the corner and a foul. That fell on Catula. And throwing in to Clark. That's now onto the far elbow. Now back up top. Handled by Banks. Now to Coleman. On the far elbow. To the near elbow. Putting up a three was Banks. Nailed that one. As the press now coming in a little bit heavier here from the Bulldogs. Drake Roa uses his wheels to get past it. Up top for Liparoto. Into the corner, Stowe. Back to Corey. To the near elbow, Liparoto. Into the paint, Roa. Spins, looking for options. Double team coming, puts up a floater. No good. Rebound handled by Glass. Akra with it now. Irish trail 6-0. Akra pulls up mid-range, off the backboard. No good. Rebound held in by Stowe and over to Liparoto, who now passes that up ahead to Corey. Corey down the far sideline, working underneath. Sends up the floater, no good. Rebound loose, handled by Corey. As Stowe goes down, long two from Roa, no good. And now handled by Banks. Sends that down to Coleman. Up top for Banks. Now to Akra for three. Knocks that one down. 3 different threes, 3 different scorers for Loyola. As Ben Liparoto handles it now for the Irish. 4:21 left in the first. Irish trail by 9, still yet to score. It's up top, Petula. To Liparoto now on the near elbow. Guarded by Akra. Up top, Roa puts up a 3. Off the backboard, no good. Rebound handled by Clark. And now handled by Banks. To Coleman in the far corner. Looking up top. Calls for a pick here from Donovan Clark. Pick comes. Coleman into the paint. Spinning underneath. With the layup. And the timeout called by NDP. They trail this 11-0. So some frustration once again from the NDP huddle. Coach Andy Durkin frustrated with his team right now.
That's all right, you're good.
No, in terms of the caliber that they want to play, this so far hasn't been up to their standards. Obviously, while they trail by 11, they can still turn this around. Plenty of game left. We're not even through the first quarter, just about halfway in it. So Roa going to throw it in for the Irish, and that is up ahead to Liparoto. Liparoto has space. Now getting pressured over to Roa. Roa steps across, shovels that to Catula. Catula looking for Roa. That's picked off by Banks, working his way in. Underneath, Akra with the layup. So Liparoto up ahead to Corey. Corey spinning away. Getting away from Glass. Into the corner. 3 from Stowe. No good. Rebound taken by Coleman. Coleman underneath. With a layup. Euro got around Corey and the finger roll goes. As Catula answers with a layup of his own. Banks handles that now. Banks slows it down for Loyola. They have a commanding lead of 13 points. Banks now into the corner. That's for Clark. Clark into the paint. Coleman. Foul. That foul on Sammy Corey. Corey subbed out for Josh Powers, the junior. As Akra throws that one in up top for Glass. This is a Loyola team filled with upperclassmen. Only one sophomore on the team, the rest made up of juniors and seniors. And their experience showing so far early as they lead by 13 as Akra handles it. Up top for Coleman. Been spreading that out. Coleman looking. Hands that one off to Akra as he sweeps across the top. Over to Banks. Puts up that 3. No good. Rebound handled by Catula. Catula stops. But they're going to say he traveled. I guess he dragged his foot a little bit. And Jordan Banks, the senior, going to throw in here. Although subs coming, Allen Glass, apologies, getting subbed off for Amari Beard. As that's thrown in and handled by Accra. Accra into the corner for Coleman. All the way over to the near elbow. Banks works in, loses the handle on that one and out of bounds. This is a very talented Detroit Loyola team, taking some of the best in the state to overtime, to close scores. That's thrown into Powers. Powers puts on the brakes and sends it back to Liparoto. Liparoto using those wheels, gets up ahead into the corner. Powers up top. Now Roa on the far elbow. Sends back up top for Liparoto. And now Roa has it. Sends that to Robin. Liparoto into the paint. Catula working underneath. Sends it to the corner. Powers puts up the three. Nailed that. Josh Powers knocks down the three. Irish trail by 10. As Accra throws that one over to Banks. Banks with it now on the near elbow. Sends that over to Accra. And now back over to Banks on the near elbow. Banks has Accra. Pass picked off by Catula. Works his way in. And lays that in. Down to about 40 seconds left here in the first quarter. Irish trailing 7-15 as that's another takeaway from the Irish. Roa coming in with some speed, lays that in. Irish starting to find themselves here under 30 seconds left. Gone on a 9-point run. Not a 9-point run, they've gone on a 7-point run. As Accra has it, double team comes, taken away, but got right back. Beard handles it underneath for Coleman. And a charge called on Coleman. Max Robin taking one for the team, soaks the hit from Coleman and gets the Irish the ball right back. 12.5 seconds left. And Roa set to throw in here for the Irish. Couple subs coming on. Champion and Dan in. As Liparoto muscles past Davis underneath and fouled. That foul on number 4, Martez Davis. 6.8 seconds left. Roa throws that one in to Catula. Catula puts up the floater and lays that one in. He went up, laid it in. As last second effort here from Champion. No go. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. Irish starting to gain some traction here. It's 15-11 the score. Now, so fouls on the Bulldogs against Davis, Coleman, and Glass on the Irish, Catula and Corey. As Coach Durkin sends in a couple subs. That's seeming to do some work for the Irish as they're starting to pick up the scoring here. Subbed in Josh Powers and Max Robin. Powers knocked down a three. And we head into the second quarter. Irish trailing by 4 while being down by as much as 11. So good momentum swing for the Irish as they're starting to see if they can get some things set up. As Champion here to throw it in to start us off in the second quarter. Now gets that right back from Davis, who now holds it now at the near elbow. Davis underneath, pass batted away by Catula. Sent up ahead. Roa handles that one and lays it in for the Irish. Well, I was talking to senior Lucas Catula before the game. He said, this is going to be a real tough one. I said, well, if you guys can drop 20 like Drake did a couple days ago, as that pass inside, now to the corner. Clark puts up a three. No good. Rebound loose. Handled by Roa. Dribbles that over to himself. Working underneath. Backside to Catula. Rejected by Beard, but that's loose and knocked out of bounds off of Loyola. So possession going to stay with the Irish, although Irish trail by 2 now. So on the floor right now for the Irish, Robin. Although foul called on Josh Powers. So ball goes right back to the Bulldogs. They lead by 2. Had a couple looks. They're trying to go on a cutter. DeAndre Dan. He's cutting towards just underneath the basket. Trying to hit him there. Lucas Catula read it well twice. As now that's handled by Champion. To the corner for Clark. Champion handles it now. Almost taken away by Roa. Champion underneath. Clark. Layup no good. Rebound handled by Catula. And now Liparoto handles it for the Irish, guarded by Champion. Into the corner, Catula. Up top for Liparoto. Gets a pick from Powers. Back over to Powers. Into the corner, Robbins puts up the three. No good. Rebound taken by Coleman. And now handled by Davis. Davis on the near elbow. Over to Champion. Now into the corner, that's Dan. Dan. Looking to move that one. Passes that over to Champion. One heck of a last name right there for the senior. And now up top for Donovan Clark. Into the corner. Davis thought about shooting it. Now works underneath to the other corner. And a foul call. That foul called on Max Robin. Irish have 2 fouls so far. As Champion throws that one underneath, wide open. Layup for Ziegler. He misses 3 in a row. Got that inbound there on a great pass from Champion. Had 3 opportunities for the layup. None of them went. Champion set to throw in here once again. It's up top, Davis. Davis cutting inside to the corner. Clark puts up a 3. Low line drive 3. Rebound taken by Ziegler. And that layup does go. Ziegler wearing number 33, not 2. And I forgot to start the clock. Apologies, folks. Liparoto handles that. Looking underneath. Now stuck into the corner. Powers puts up the 3. Off the rim. Rebound loose. Taken by Roa. Jump ball. Gonna be Irish ball. So Powers puts up that 3. Good rebounding from the Irish as Roa throws that into the corner for Powers. Now Liparoto handles it. Roa, corner 3, knocks that down. Irish trail by 1, 7 points on the day. For Drake Roa, Catula supporting him with 6. As that's Champion with it now. Into the corner. Ziegler thought about pulling the 3, doesn't go for it, and travels. And a timeout called. Full timeout called by Detroit Loyola. As they're starting to get a little bit sloppy, only 2 points scored so far this quarter. Irish going on quite the run. 16-17 is the score. Augie Villawan here with NDP Athletics broadcasting all your live NDP Athletics content. This is going to be the last basketball stream for the next 2 days. We're on Friday. We're giving you all the action you can handle. Double header. Boys and girls basketball both here in the gymnasium facing off against Genesee Christian. Girls coverage starts at 5:30. In between those games, we will have the second NDP Athletics Hall of Fame inauguration. And after that, your NDP boys basketball team will take on Genesee Christian as well. Looking like it's going to be an exciting game taking place. Another Irish sport tonight as girls basketball is away. Kaylin Sowers 9 points away from 1,000 on her career. Selfishly hoping she doesn't break that so we can call that for you on Friday. And we will get right back into the action as Cotulla handles it for the Irish. Stops and puts that up top. Lipperoto drops that off. Powers underneath. Knocked away. And taken back by Champion. Champion to the corner. Davis puts up a three. Rolls around and out. Rebound taken by the Irish. Lipperoto loses the handle on it. Regains it loose on the ground. And kicked away. Champion with it now. Slows it down and brings out across half court. As Champion underneath lays that up, but foul no good. Layup no good. And that foul on Cotulla. That's his second of the game. Now free throws here for Chapman. Logan Tuttle doing a good job knocking that free throw out from the sideline. 4:21 left. Second free throw here for Champion as Cotulla subs out for Benedetto Offer. Second free throw rattles out as well, much to the pleasure of Logan Tuttle. And Benny Offer handles it for the Irish. Up ahead, Roa. Sweeps across the middle, now stops. Back over to Offer. Offer across the middle, puts on the brakes. Looking for something. Look to pass that over to Powers, picked off. Champion lays that in. And knocked out of bounds off of a Bulldog. Possession going to stay with the Irish. Roa throws that into Powers. Now up top. Just bringing that across midcourt is Offer. Spinning. Over to Powers. Powers getting pressed here. And an over and back. And Lipperoto subbing out Powers. Again, Powers not the tallest. A little bit taller than me, just for reference. I'm clocking it at 5. I'm going to say 5'7" on a good day. So Powers not the biggest guy, getting just double teamed and overpowered here. So that's out for Champion. Champion sends that down. Foster into the corner. Ziegler puts up a three, way off the mark. And Max Robin handles it for the Irish. Now up ahead to Lipperoto. Spinning over to Offer. Offer looking for his options. Into the corner. Roa guarded by Dan. Roa on their elbow. Inside to Stowe. Stowe rolling. And foul. Let's see. That foul on 33 Blue Ziegler's first foul of the game. Stowe going to throw in here for the Irish. Stowe looking for his options. Throws that in. Lipperoto into the corner. Stowe thought about shooting it. Forgot to start the clock. Once again, Lipperoto, the floater, no good. Rebound taken by Champion. Up ahead, Foster. Layup no good. Stowe handles the rebound. Up ahead to Benny Offer. Lipperoto puts up the three. Nails that. We are all tied at 19. 2:40 left in this first half. Irish playing close against Detroit Loyola. Champion in the corner. That's Dan. Dan brings it out to the near elbow. Guarded by Robin. Underneath. Into the paint, Ziegler lays that one in. And now Liporoto handles it, 2:20 left in the first half. Stowe. Looking for Liporoto, a little bit of a miscommunication there, but it's off of the Bulldogs. So possession stays with the Irish. Catula subbing out Max Robin. Again, some of these juniors starting to play some heavy minutes here for the Irish. We saw Josh Powers get about 7 minutes. Max Robin then in for about 8.5. As Liporoto getting heavily guarded here by Davis. Liporoto over to Offer, just out of his reach, up ahead. Clark brings that one into Davis. Davis, Dan slams that one home. Apologies for the lackluster commentary. That's the first dunk I've ever seen while broadcasting, so we'll work on the wording there, as that's backside. Catula with the layup. Catula up to 8 points. Roa with 7. They both lead all scorers, as that's handled by Davis. Davis to Champion on the far elbow. Champion getting doubled now, sends that down to Clark. Clark up top. Davis cutting inside. Euros floater goes through. First points of the day for Davis. 21-25 is your score in favor of the Bulldogs, as Stowe works on Foster. Pass that over. Liporoto went for that 3, had that one knocked down. Up ahead, Davis puts the brakes on. 3 from the elbow, loose, no good. Rebound taken by Roa. And he puts the brakes on, over to Offer. Offer gonna work up ahead, crosses up Foster, over to Roa. Roa into the paint, off of a Bulldog and out. Howard subbing off Offer. Bit of a mouthful, but we'll get through it. 43.5 left. Irish trail by 4. Josh Power starting to see some significant minutes here. And still going to throw it in for the Irish. Puts up a jump ball, handled by Roa, down to 40 seconds. Roa works on Dan. Working, spinning, floater, goes through for Drake Roa. And now handled by Champion. Under 20 seconds left, that's handled by Davis. Back over to Champion. Over to Davis, just sort of flipping fields, passing it up and over the head of Roa. Now down under 10 seconds, Champion underneath to the corner. Dan puts up a 3. No good, and that takes us to the end of the first half. Irish playing close against a good Detroit Loyola team, trailing by 2 going into the half. Augie Villawan with NDP Athletics Broadcasting. We'll be back in about 15 minutes.